This is what Joan Laporta had to say, the Barca president. The club's in a worse state than I expected, and I know I was coming into a difficult situation. Between salaries and the big word, it's about 650 million euros, which is more than the club's revenue. These salaries are out of step with the current market. So what do, Barcelona? Well, they bring in Depay, they bring in Kun Aguero. They are still set to announce whether or not Lionel Messi is going to stay. Gab, this doesn't look tenable.
Well, yeah, look, they bring in Aguero and Depay on free transfers. That would be their argument. Certainly, it's not tenable. You need to raise some money through sales. You guys have been through the list of how many bodies they have in the front three, but forget Messi, leave him to one side. But in addition to the two that you already mentioned, you're also talking Trincao, you're talking Braithwaite, you're talking Griezmann, you're talking Ansu Fati, you're talking Dembele, you're talking Coutinho. You're only going to play with three dudes up front. What do the other guys do? And you can say, well, I'm going to sell them, but they're all on enormous money, most of them. Yeah. So they're really difficult to sell. Their most saleable assets are probably, Trincao, something like Ansu Fati, but he's coming off an injury and you don't want to sell him anyway. So it's a really, really tough spot that they're in. And I don't know how you get out of it other than persuading Messi to take an enormous pay cut to return for the love of the club, because that's the game changer. That number you mentioned, which I don't personally believe, but 1/6 of that is Lionel Messi's salary, right? So that is the big game changer here.
So if you play devil's advocate in this situation, Don, I could say, look, you're Lionel Messi. You bleed this club. You want this club to be a success.
Yeah.
If it is going to do that, you have to take a huge pay cut.
And I think he might, with the new president coming in, who he's worked under before. I think what I see there with Barcelona, there has to be mass sales. The three players that come to mind would be Coutinho, Dembele's got one more left on his contract, and Braithwaite.
But going back to my original point, if you're a player of Messi's stature, would you be comfortable taking a pay cut for the good of the club?
I think you would.
But would you not be going, you're the ones who got in this situation in the first place. You're the people who spent all this money on all these different players, overpaying them, and now you want me to bail you out? That's not my responsibility.
No, it's not his responsibility. No, I agree with you, but he obviously loves the football club, doesn't he? He's been there for an awful long time. He's the only club he's ever been at since he was about 13, 14. So it's a test for him. It's a test whether someone like Man City or PSG or someone else goes, we will match your wages or a little bit more. But I think if you're pulling on his heartstrings and the owner, president convinces him that they've got a chance of winning it next season and they're going to improve, he might just sign a new deal.
Am I being cynical here?
I kind of see where you're coming from, because say he does take that pay cut and they're worse off next season, then what's he going to be looking at in terms of his options?
But he'll be looking at Aguero, he'll be looking at Depay coming in. He might think there's a bit of excitement.
I don't know. I feel like within those sort of top two, Ronaldo, Messi and so on, the talk has never been about taking pay cuts. Especially something which is to sort of half your money. You could maybe try and turn it into something else and have this option or that option, or have this here, have that there. But I don't know. We're talking about.
Say he can pull some revenue in though.
Yeah,
Messi,
but we're talking.
This is a guy, right, who got absolutely stabbed in the back by the club not that long ago.
A different president, though. To be fair, you could argue that there's a new board, there are new people in charge.
I don't see why he should. I don't see why he would. If it's me, the first thing that comes to my mind is, hold on a second. This is the club, whether it's a new president, an old president, this is a club that absolutely made a mug of me, who stabbed me in the back. Now, it's the shoe's on the other foot, and they want me to take a huge pay cut. I'm sorry.
Is that what you think? That's what they want? Do you think they do want him to take a pay cut? Because I don't think they'll even ask him the question. Because I think that probably sets the ball on.
If they do, Dan's question is, would you?
You think it comes down to money, though, Stevie?
He should tell them where where to go.
Do you think it comes down to money, Stevie? When you've got enough money, as Messi obviously has,
I think it comes.
Does it come down to that?
I would think it would come down to the fact that they stabbed him in the back. That definitely comes into it.
Quickly, Gab.
I just want to say, I would hope that if they committed all this money to Sergio Aguero, who's Messi's friend, it's because they know something and they have something up their sleeve And they did that because they're confident that it'll swing the needle to keeping Lionel Messi. Otherwise, bringing in Aguero makes zero sense.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.